Have you ever noticed how being too nice never ends the way you think it will? You give more time, more patience, more forgiveness than you should, believing it will earn respect. But instead, you become the easy option, the safe bet, the one people use when they need comfort and ignore when they need challenge. That's the hidden trap of kindness. Without boundaries, kindness stops being virtue. It becomes weakness. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to keep your compassion without becoming disposable. You'll learn the art of balanced power, guided by Machiavelli's strategy and Stoic discipline, to protect your peace, your time, and your dignity without hardening your heart. Machiavelli once wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." Most people misunderstand that line. He didn't mean cruelty, he meant balance. Because love without boundaries always leads to exploitation, and fear without respect leads to rebellion. The powerful blend both, kindness with structure, compassion with consequence. The truth is, the world reads behavior, not intention. When you overextend yourself, people don't see goodness, they see availability. When you let things slide, they don't see patience, they see permission. Have you ever realized how quickly people test you after you forgive them once? That's because boundaries teach faster than words. In today's world, kindness has been commercialized. Be kind has turned into tolerate everything. But a Stoic understands tolerance without judgment is chaos. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." To be one means knowing when to stop giving. Let's look at this in real life. At work, you cover for colleagues who never return the favor. You stay late, take extra tasks, hoping to prove loyalty. But loyalty without limits becomes servitude. A Machiavellian thinker would tell you, every favor has a price, and if you don't set it, others will. In relationships, you compromise too much. You think love means sacrifice, so you silence your needs to keep the peace. That's not peace, that's quiet submission. The Stoic sees emotion clearly, but isn't ruled by it. When someone crosses a line repeatedly, forgiveness without consequence becomes self-betrayal. Kindness without boundaries is like a river without banks. It floods everything around it. The Machiavellian Stoic lives differently. He gives, but with intention. He forgives, but with awareness. He helps, but only when it doesn't cost him his center. He knows that sometimes saying no is the highest form of kindness, to both sides. Ask yourself this. When was the last time your kindness cost you more than it helped? When was the last time you left a situation drained, not because someone took advantage, but because you allowed it? Power doesn't mean closing your heart. It means deciding who deserves access to it. Let's go deeper. The Stoics believed emotional control begins with clarity, knowing where your duty ends and someone else's begins. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." The Machiavellian builds on that. He reacts strategically, not morally. He decides when mercy strengthens his position and when it erodes it. In the workplace, this might mean helping a struggling coworker once, then observing whether they help themselves. If they don't, the next act of kindness is no longer compassion, it's enablement. In friendships, it's giving advice once, then watching if they act on it. If not, you stop talking and start observing. Your silence becomes your boundary. Here's the paradox. People respect the kind person who can also say no, because restraint proves strength. Machiavelli would call that the politics of mercy. Mercy has value only when it's rare. When given freely, it becomes invisible. The Stoic would add, True kindness isn't about being liked, it's about being just. Justice sometimes looks like distance, sometimes silence, sometimes walking away. Have you ever noticed how people treat you differently after you stop explaining yourself? That's not coincidence. That's power recalibrating itself. You can care deeply and still say no. You can forgive and still protect yourself. You can love and still walk away. When kindness is strategic, it's power. When it's uncontrolled, it's surrender. So from now on, let your kindness have weight. Make people earn it. Don't rush to comfort those who hurt you or defend those who never defended you. You are not unkind for protecting your peace. You are wise for preserving your energy. If this message speaks to you, drop this in the comments. My kindness has boundaries. And remember to subscribe. Every week we dive into the art of strength, composure, and psychological power. You can't stop people from testing your limits, but you can stop giving them permission to cross them. That's where kindness becomes strength. There's a reason boundaries feel hard, because they require you to disappoint people who benefited from your lack of them. But the moment you begin setting limits, you'll notice something powerful. Those who truly value you adjust. Those who used you vanish. Let's talk about how to make that shift without losing your soul. The Stoics believed strength begins with clarity. Before you can enforce boundaries, you must define them. What are you no longer willing to tolerate? What drains you every time you say yes? Write those down. Clarity is your first weapon. Then comes enforcement, the Machiavellian stage. This isn't about confrontation, it's about calibration. You don't owe everyone an explanation. Power often speaks best through silence and consistency. When you stop over-explaining your limits, people either adapt or reveal their intentions. Machiavelli advised rulers to be both fox and lion, cunning enough to see traps, strong enough to scare off wolves. In daily life, that means you don't need to raise your voice, you need to raise your standards. Imagine this: a friend constantly borrows your time, your energy, your attention, but never reciprocates. A Stoic response: you reduce access calmly, without resentment. A Machiavellian one: you observe their reaction. Do they respect your space or guilt you for it? Their response reveals whether your kindness was ever valued. Boundaries are the filter that separate respect from reliance. You'll start noticing something strange. When you become more selective with your time, people start listening harder when you speak. When you stop saying yes automatically, your yes begins to matter again. That's psychological repositioning, a tactic Machiavelli would admire. Seneca once wrote, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." When you set boundaries, you create space for those people to find you. Because the wrong ones leave when they can no longer use you, and the right ones arrive when they see you use yourself wisely. Ask yourself this: are you being kind because it's your nature, or because you fear losing approval? That's the question that separates compassion from compliance. Now, here's how to apply both Stoic and Machiavellian principles in your next interaction. When someone crosses a line, don't react. Pause. The Stoic holds emotion. The Machiavellian observes motive. Then respond once. Clear, calm, final. You don't repeat your boundary twice. Repetition invites negotiation. At work, this might sound like, "I can help with this task, but only once." After that, you'll need to manage it. In personal life, "I care about you, but I won't keep proving it by tolerating what hurts me." Notice the tone. Firm, not cruel. That balance is everything. Kindness without strength is naive. Strength without kindness is tyranny. The Stoic and the Machiavellian meet where compassion serves logic, not ego. You'll feel guilt at first. That's normal. Guilt is the echo of your old conditioning, the belief that good people never say no. But remember, boundaries don't make you less kind. They make your kindness sustainable. Have you ever noticed how calm people with boundaries seem? That's because their energy isn't scattered pleasing everyone. It's focused building themselves. The world may call it cold, but those who've learned peace call it balance. So from this point forward, give, but don't bend. Forgive, but don't repeat. Love, but don't lose yourself doing it. Type in the comments, "My kindness now has limits." And if you haven't yet, subscribe and turn on notifications. Each week we explore how ancient wisdom builds modern power. Remember this final thought. Machiavelli taught how to rule others. The Stoics taught how to rule yourself. Combine them, and no one can quietly rule you again. Thank you for watching. Stay disciplined, stay calm, and I'll see you in the next video.